Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's the Mac and welcome back to a sort of different video. Well, not different. I'm actually going to be going over squad battles games, man. We're just going to have a look at the Eagle Strike, man. Eagle Strike, yeah. So there's actually a couple of videos I want to do lately. We've just gone through the winter sale. We're actually at the end of January now, man. I've been so busy with work and stuff, and just been able to, upload my Let's Plays of the Panzer campaigns, Orbrel, and the 30 Years' War. So just sort of completed those Let's Plays. Took hell of a time, actually. It's a lot of videos being recorded there, but I want to start off with doing squad battles, man, from the good old Wargame Design Studio. I have actually about 3 years ago, man. I had to check my channel, man. So it's like 3 years ago. I did a sort of Let's Play of Eagle Strike, and that was way before. I think it was even before the 4.0. Actually, it could be the 4.0 release under John Tiller Games. It wasn't called Wargame Design Studio then. And then the game was taken over. Or maybe, I'm getting confused now because it's actually 3 years ago. It could be when Wargame Design Studio took over John Tiller's catalog. They put these 4.0 versions out and sort of did a reboot of everything. That could be the case. I'm sort of confusing it there. But as we know, we are currently at 4.02. So if you guys remember, who's been following my channel there was a 4.01 release. They made those really cool updates for, let's see, was it? I think it was like three different games that were released. Squad battles here, right? So they did Advance of the Reich, and they did Red Victory and Winter War. Those were released as 4.01 with a completely overhaul of the graphics. We have the zoom in. I think I've actually showcased one of those on my channel, the improvements of the game. Now I can't really remember which video that was, but it was sometime back when that was released. I wanted to just show the graphics and the stuff included. And they had they only did those three titles, and but now they went to Eagle Strike, so the West Front there. This is a huge title actually in squad battles. If you're thinking of picking something up, I mean, of course, you pick the game that strikes your fancy, that what you find interesting in the war. But I mean, Eagle Strike, man, it's huge. They have a lot of scenarios in that game and a ton of information and articles and all kinds of stuff in that game. It's pretty big, man, for being like a squad battles release. They're getting bigger and bigger now as Wargame Design Studio really goes into it and want to produce stuff that's of high quality. So that's why we're going to have a look at Eagle Strike, because they're going to be probably putting these updates out for all the titles in due time. It's probably a pretty hefty amount of work to rehaul all these games, all the graphic icons, all the maps, all the zoom levels. There's some new 3D animations with explosions and stuff, and sound effects and weapons, and they want to put in some more scenarios there as well. So there is a lot of stuff to go through and very time consuming, I would imagine. But so the latest news, this, wow, okay, this is going to be sort of a mixed video here. There's a ton of stuff coming up on the channel, man, especially with Wargame Design Studio here. We're all looking forward to this. This is going to be such a cool Panzer campaign title being released. But let's go back to, so Eagle Strike, they had a preview article, and this is all about the update there. So we're going to have a look at that. I also actually picked up during the winter sale the Winter War. I'm going to do a separate sort of Let's Play series of that cool game. It's actually I mean, it's the Finnish Winter War versus the Russians there. It's actually such a cool title there. I mean, that would actually be a good title for like Panzer campaigns or Panzer battles, man. I hope they release that in the future, especially Panzer battles, because that would probably fit more into the kind of scale of the action that went on like local levels. But let's get back to the 402. Yeah, so the 402 is such a big release that they haven't released a patch even, because you're gonna have to, for people who own this game, you have to download a complete new version of the game, because there's not a 402 patch. It's so many changes that they probably didn't want to make a patch out of it. So it's just a complete game now. That's 402, and I guess they will do that for every Squad Battles title as well. So let's look at the changelog. It is massive, man. So the 401 was actually the really big one that came out. As you can see, it goes on for certain pages. Here it actually says Eagle Strike 4.0 changelog, first Wargame Design Studio release. Okay, so the one I am covering on my channel 3 years ago is probably a version that was before the 4.0. It's that old, man. But I think I went over this in the previous about the 401. It's just so much, but this is what's interesting now, the 402. So they fixed weapon tab display error. They fixed 3D display bugs for snow, mud, and conditions. They have fixed prevent wreckage parachutes from providing any vehicle protection. There's lots of things that were reported here that they have actually fixed. But they even did some enhancements. They updated the toolbar for wrapping code. The support for double the number of elevations added. You can probably pause the video and have a look here. I can zoom in a bit. So there's some good stuff. You can actually get this document from the Wargame Design Studio page as well. And they have actually included, but let's actually go in here. So when you have the game installed, I mean, there is so much stuff in this game. It's just insane, man. They have all the old cool documentation from Wild Bill Wilder as well. Back in the day, the designer notes. The designer notes in this game is no joke. It's no joke, man. It's 164 pages long. It's like a good couple of nights read, man. It's pretty massive. They have slicked it up, you know. They redesigned it and made it really nice, and you can quick click. So there is so much information here. It's like when you buy the game, you get a book basically. It's so much stuff here, and it's all by Wild Bill Wilder. His old articles he did and all of them that was released. There's actually some other stuff as well. Here's something from Louis Marsh, flamethrowers and napalm in World War II. I mean, so many cool articles here you can read while you're playing the game and stuff. Lots of stuff. The Great Crusade. You know, I think I might have gone over this 3 years ago. I'm not sure, but it just goes on and on. This is what I'm saying, man. It's like a complete book that comes with the game. It's huge. I love it. So that is some heavy bang for the buck, you know. The documentation that comes with the game, man. And of course, they have all the other stuff. You know, they have database editors and stuff. All this stuff is included. The main program help files, we know all that. Scenario editors, lots of things. Getting started is sweet as well. They've sort of revised it, so to get yourself familiar with all the new toolbars. And look at the graphics now, man. It's so nice, really cool, really nice. Look at this, wow, that's amazing. Look at the really nice pictures here. So they have a scenario that you play as you're getting started. Very, very nice graphics now. So that is a really good getting started. Thomas Hook is the guy who made the music and for the games. The user manual is huge now. It's 172 pages, man. So that's no joke anymore. And it's slick. It's good. So all the stuff is in here. Very easy to navigate. But as I've said before, I mean, squad battles, man, it might look really complex. It might be like overwhelming. But once you get down to it, man, it's kind of an easy game to play. It's just what you need to like hone your skills on is tactics, basically. Uh, yeah, so we had to look at the designer notes, and now they have all these. They have maps. These might have actually been included in the old one as well, but these are pretty cool. These old maps they have where the scenarios are taking place. That is very good as well. Lots of stuff here. They also have these notes. So some of these notes are actually part of the almighty designer notes, but they sort of made separate article clicks here for you. So if you just want to read certain things and not open that huge files, you can just sort of get into this a bit faster. But they also have something really nice. They have the order of battles. See if we can find it. Yeah, the visual order of battles. You can't actually see the whole thing here. It says figures, heads, but it's pretty big. So this takes a time to open up because it's a huge file. But wow, look at this. I mean, look at this stuff. Wow, the amount of work that's gone into this is insane. So for instance, it's kind of buggy though when you sort of zoom in and stuff. But okay, here we go. So here you have an American forces here. You have the 70th Tank Battalion here. So they have a whole battalion here. Look at all the stuff that goes in. You have 3 platoons of tanks, B company, C company, D company. I mean, look at all this. It's all here. And you have a cavalry troop with infantry and stuff and jeeps. These are the reconnaissance forces. We have B company. I mean, it's the amount of like details for you to dig into is insane. And it's really good because when they have this stuff here, for you who want to create your own scenarios and like sort of research and get the correct units on the maps and sort of make your own sort of scenario of the battle. It's all here. I mean, all this OOB and all these units are actually in the game. So, wow, some really good stuff here. Amazing. Right, so it goes on, man. There's so much stuff in here, but let's just open the campaign. I want to show you guys. So the campaign is actually fixed in this part. You can actually play the campaigns now. So you have 3 campaigns that comes with the game. So there's a German lieutenant in the SS, a company commander of MacDonald, or an American lieutenant colonel in Normandy. So I'm not going to open them now, but they are in here. The three campaigns that you can play, and they're sort of linked. Actually, they're not linked, but they are sort of linked in time, I would say. But it doesn't sort of carry over from campaign to campaign. Like if you sort of play individual battles, but you do get the flow of a certain operation, basically. So I like this. It's pretty cool. You can actually play these by PBM as well, to play versus a human. That's pretty cool. So the main program, the main game, is beautiful. So I've already gone over this game, but I'm going to show you some of the improvements they've made in this game. Some really cool stuff. So they have all the new toolbars and everything, and a ton of scenarios. I think there's over 100 scenarios. I've heard there's 120 scenarios now, man. And they've actually included a lot of the old scenarios that was actually created, that was on the internet and some of those fan-based sites that have actually gone offline through years. Many of these scenarios have actually been taken from there that were really good. So they still have the ASL. I think I played one of the ASL scenarios when I was doing my Let's Play. Some really good stuff here. And so they've actually included many of the sort of lost scenarios of the times, basically, that were like compatible with the old versions of the game. But they have now implemented them into the 402 release, so you can actually play them again in puffed up graphics and in the up to date programming of the current game. So I think that's some really nice commitment, and really to bring the game back to all those people who played them back in the day. So I think that is really really good. There's lots of scenarios in this. This is actually a very good title. If you want to get into the squad battles and want to get like a big one of the bigger titles, this is a very good buy. And Advance of the Reich and Red Victory. Those games are really big and good. Lots of stuff in them. So I'm going to make another Let's Play of the Winter War. We're going to have a look at that, and you will see that there's actually a difference in the amount of scenarios. I think this, in Winter War, this might only be like half of these scenarios in that game, but it's pretty good though. So the 402. So let's just, let's open something. Maybe we can just open the Getting Started. I don't know if I played the Getting Started one here. I'm just going to open it up, because this is the one that everybody's going to be playing. So yeah, they have all the rules, and now they've also implemented the what we saw in campaign series, and I mean not in campaign series, sorry, in when we looked at the 30 Years War, the latest releases from the Musket and Pike series. All the rules are explained here now. If you hover your mouse over them, it will tell you. Not in great depth, but overview terms, basically, of what these optional rules mean. So let's just open it up. So just to have a visual of the graphics, man. So okay, so this is a Ranger Challenge Easy. Okay, so this is the 6th of June, the D-Day operations there. So look at the graphics, man. I like it. So you have the new zoom in. You can go right in there. I think they even have 3D now. It's pretty good. I like the 3D in squad battles now. It looks pretty cool. I like the way they made the icons here. And of course you can zoom out a lot, but even this, man, look at this. Look at these forces here. I really like the pictures. I think you can actually change them if you want to. So there should be there's an alternate terrain box label. That is that one there. I just saw that one change. So what happened was, no, it wasn't. I was lying. Let's see. Alternate label style. Not sure what that does. Oh, never. Whoa. Okay. This is what it does. Wow. This is for people who have bad eyesight. I would imagine more clear. Yeah, I'll prefer this. You can have leaders on top. Yeah, but let's see. So what do we got here? NATO symbols. Okay. Yeah. All right. You can play with NATO symbols. You will get sort of the Panic Campaigns feel to it. I mean, sure, looks okay. But squad battles, man, is all about small unit action. So you probably want to have these pictures here, I would imagine. Alternate highlighting. What does that do? I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look in the manual. Alternate graphics. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. So you can have this. It's pretty cool. I mean, this is pretty nice. Especially these portraits down here are amazing. Look at this. So badass, man. So this is, you're getting sort of the old feel of the squad battles. And because they had some big portraits in the pictures, but these are all ramped up, looking really sweet. So that is something new. Really like it. Or this. So I don't know. I would probably switch between those, but I really like this. This is actually pretty cool. I like these portraits. Right, so that's some new stuff. You can have leaders on top. Action speed and all that, yeah. So this is what it looks like. The graphics now. As I said, I'm not going to make a huge video of this. I might actually do a new Let's Play. If you guys want me to do that, I'll pick something really like a cool scenario here, and I'll do new Let's Play. And we'll probably like stumble upon what was different from the previous release that I covered 3 years ago. Can't believe it's 3 years ago, man. So we could do that. But as I'm saying, I've got Squad Battles Winter War coming up, and I'm actually going to have a look at the Napoleonic Wars as well. I think I've only covered one Napoleonic title, the Leipzig one. So I actually went and bought the bayonets. What's it called? What's it called here? Where is it? There we go. All right, so there's actually 15 titles here now, man. It's pretty big. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the Napoleonic Wars. This one here, Republican Bayonets on the Rhine. So this is sort of like I think this is sort of the earliest one to pick off in this era. It's just before actually Napoleon became a general and took over. These are some of the earlier battles. It's a very interesting title. I've been looking at it, and I'm not that familiar actually with this series. This is a whole different ballgame, and they've released a lot of stuff for this. They put a lot of effort into this series. If you just have a look at the news, I mean, they have published some pretty in-depth articles about tactics and warfare. And they have some pretty high updates now. They're 407.1, so there's quite a lot of stuff for this and for this game. And of course, it's a just recently Ridley Scott released a Napoleon movie. I still haven't seen it actually. Many of you guys probably have, but I still haven't seen it. And I've heard like mixed reviews, but I think it's still probably going to be a pretty epic movie since it's Ridley Scott, man. I mean, yeah, even though I've heard a lot of criticism that he got his history wrong, and there's lots of things in that movie that apparently is not historically correct, but you know, to make a really good movie, sometimes you're going to have to bend the rules, I would imagine. We should still be very happy that there's actually a movie released in this era, and there's actually someone with try to make a really high quality movie out of it. Anyway, it's getting off topic there. There's not much more I'm going to do in this sort of shortish video. I just wanted to sort of give a heads up a bit about Eagle Strike, the newest with this 402 release. And so I might actually do a Let's Play of it. This is such a fun game to play. I mean, there's so many scenarios here in this game. They have everything here from... I wonder if these are actually in order. This one is the 6. I think they are. They usually are in sort of order, you know. September. Okay, we got September going on there, right? Yeah. So there's a couple of scenarios that are actually being updated as well with the text. One thing I think I was slagging off when I was showing off the improvement of the previous titles is that sometimes it's kind of unclear if it's playable in PBM or just versus the computer. So some of them are actually quite detailed. This one has play only from the US side with this Utah one. This one here has point to hoe, the landing. This scenario should be played only from the American side, for instance. 2-player game, yes, it says here. So you can actually, the battle can be played from either side, and it can actually be played head-to-head as well. So lots of stuff like that is interesting. So this one here, for instance, doesn't say. So this is hell. It just says, to quote Patton, let's see what it says. Hints: use your Bangalore settles blow grappling. So I mean, this would probably mean that it's meant to be played from the American side. It doesn't say if it's playable 2-player or not. So some are sort of still unclear. Here it's just said this scenario is good for learning mechanics of the game. It should be played from the US side. So many of them are actually clear, but there are some that you don't really know. Maybe reading the description, you will understand. Oh, this one probably should be played from the US or German side and stuff. This battle should be fought with human player taking the American side. So some of them are very, very clear. So maybe that's something they're doing now with the 402, because I was actually playing against my buddy there a couple of battles in Advance of the Reich, and none of those scenarios actually say anything about what side to play. So we were playing a couple of PBM and some of them were really slanted in one favor, and it was sort of impossible for the other one to actually do anything except being killed. So maybe they will add more of that stuff, but two-player game and solitaire says yes. So many are actually, it actually says, these sets are designed for PBM. So that's pretty cool. It's actually it's more clear now than the old 401 release. Right, so I think I'm actually going to end it here because I'm just drabbling on. But I hope you guys got intrigued of getting this title now, or upgrading your version that you have, because they've made a heck of a job of it. So I'm gonna do like a small scenario, I think, and record it, and we're gonna have a look at the Winter War, and we gonna have to look at Napoleonic as well. I'm gonna start duking out some of those titles. And some other games actually too. There's going to be some other games that I'm usually play off camera, and they're not Wargame Design Studio games. They are actually from other gaming companies, but I want to showcase them as well. Even though there's so many good games from Wargame Design Studio, man, that needs to be put out on YouTube forever, so people get intrigued and buy the games. So I'm going to end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you have questions and comments and stuff, just write in comments or email me there from the site, and I will take your wishes in consideration. And if you have any other games you want to see on the channel, just write it down. I'll have a look at it. So I'm going to end it here. I hope you guys are having a good time, and I will see you in the next videos. Have a good one.